Good afternoon, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Manic, 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 as usual, isn't it, Lou?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. How's everyone today? Can you all hear me? I think you can all hear me. I've no idea if you can hear me because I don't have a monitor in front of me today. The lovely Louise broke his last week, didn't she?
I'm sorry.
You went past... Well, that's not a very good camera view, is it, by there?
Both loud and clear. Good.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Louise, the camera's on you. They can see you doing your makeup.
Sorry, I've been in a bit of a rush. It's been absolute bedlam today, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yes. Really, really, really has. How's everyone doing? As my bench is still an absolute pigsty from last week. Yes, we just haven't stopped. Our feet have not touched the ground this week, have they? Last week, I mean. No, they haven't. They have been absolutely... It's still got everything from that. Oh, yes. The... Okay.
I think so, just about. It's just been like Christmas today in the shop, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, sales. Can't believe how many sales we've had in today.
It's brilliant, but just and why is it all, why today? Why when Sharon's off? Why me?
It just takes you away from all the things that you've got in your diary. Well, I don't have a diary. You're my diary.
Thank you. You say the most romantic things.
You're my diary.
You're my diary.
You're my diary. You keep me organised. You tell me what to do. Yeah.
I can't fit in any nagging around my busy day when I'm in the shop.
Really, Louise? Really?
I'm not very effective nagging because I'm called away and I can't.
Very effective nagging, I think. That was very effective.
I feel like my nagging's been completely ineffective today, actually.
Ineffective?
Ineffective, yeah.
No. It's all gone in.
Oh, it did go in, did it?
It did go in. I'm just... I'm actually boiling now. I've got this top on. All right, how's everyone doing? I've no idea what the chat's going to be doing. I can't see anything because I said the monitor's bust. I've been to the monitor.
Janet said you look like a James Bond look-alike. I called you the milk tray man this morning.
Look at that. Look at the trousers as well. Woo! Like winkle picking our shoes, isn't it? Winkle pickers. Yeah, new shoes, new trousers, and an old top. How's everyone doing? All right, should we get started?
Yes.
Oh, we do have a few things to say, don't we?
Yes.
What are we going to say?
Don't you know?
Oh, sorry. Do we know? Oh. I don't know, no.
The spinner workshop, the spinner ring workshop is now live on At the Bench. So if you bought a ticket, you can now rewatch it. If you bought a ticket and missed it, you can watch it live now on the workshops tab on At the Bench. If you're a full member, you can watch it, you can rewatch it as many times as you like. And if you're not a full member, if you want to learn how to make a spinner ring, you can still buy the workshop for £15.
That is correct. Mm-hmm. One film's not on it. That is the resizing of the spinner rings. Because,
I must nag you about that.
Because we literally
in fact, diary senses. I remember it.
We literally ran out of time. It was my father's birthday, so we were off for a few days last week. We were also away last Wednesday as well. We had the great pleasure in meeting the lovely David J. Lilly in his workshop down in Brighton.
What a lovely man.
So that was a really, really good day. That was fabulous. It's a long way down there, but it was well worth the trip.
We had a fabulous trip, didn't we?
We did. We had a fabulous trip. Stayed overnight in Farnham. Lovely hotel called the Princess Royal. If you're down Farnham Way and want to stop off somewhere, the Princess Royal, 9.4 out of 10 on hotels.com. Absolutely brilliant.
It was just, everyone was professional but super relaxed and chilled. It was just, didn't get in your face, but were attentive. It was just great, wasn't it?
I walked out to the car the next morning thinking, do you know, everything went so smoothly. Nothing went wrong.
You couldn't complain, and you do love to complain.
If it warrants complaining, I jolly well will. But it was lovely. The interview with David was great. I must have spent a couple of hours chatting. He also did a little bit of like a lapidary sort of class for us as well.
He cut me an opal.
And he cut you a boulder opal.
Yeah.
So we got that as well. We were going to have a bit of a tour around his workshop. We sort of ran out of time towards the end because he had clients coming, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we sort of ran out of time with that. But amazing, lovely, lovely chap.
I felt like I'd known him for years.
Oh yeah, made you feel at home right from the moment you walk in. Fabulous. On a working farm, loads of other workshops around the place. We had a blast.
Fabulous, wasn't it?
And that's it.
Your dad's 100th
Oh,
birthday.
yeah, I might, of course, yeah.
People have asked about your dad's birthday.
My dad's 100th birthday, that went well. The remaining sister he's got, 'cause he had 2 other brothers. One was older, one was a bit younger than him. Sadly passed away. But my father, going strong. His auntie, my auntie, his sister, she's 90.
She's amazing as well, isn't she, Auntie?
Yeah, so all the four children are all in the 90s. Father's 100, Auntie Hazel's 90. I think Uncle Charlie got to 98. And Doug got to 96, I think it was. He's passed away. But yeah, very good party, loads of food.
He had all his family there. Everybody was there. For a person who didn't want to party,
he knew how to party, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, what was it? 4 sherries?
At least 4 sherries in the space of like an hour and a half, I think it was. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I. No. Don't mind if I do.
He could be in the room.
Telling us stories about the war.
Well, I did make the mistake of saying, what's the secret then? And he went, I don't know. Of course, I was in the war. I was in the army. And that was it then. But I think it's his positivity. I really do think. He's the most positive person I know. If you're feeling like you can't do something, he's like, now, come on. That's enough of that, and you can do it. I can, and I will. And he used to read all the self-help books, didn't he? Back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, How to Grow Rich While You Sleep, How to Win Friends and Influence People. They're the 2 that stuck in my mind. I haven't read them.
But he's always been interested. I didn't know him then, but from what you've said, he's taken care of himself, of his mental health as well, and and I think that probably for him and his time in the army, that's more important than anything, isn't it? But it's important for everybody. Yes. But it probably wasn't as big a thing then as it is now.
Of course.
But I think that kind of stress management has gone a long way as well towards his longevity and his positivity. So that's what I'm going to try and take from it.
Be positive.
Yeah.
When are you going to start?
And just look after
Tomorrow.
yourself. I know, I'm terrible. I'm the world's worst. Yeah.
All right. I have no idea what questions we got because I cannot see what's going on. Louise, it's Monday.
I'm in control now.
It's Monday, the 10th. Short staffed, hence the reason why the phone's going. But no, you won't be able to shut those cables.
Okay.
So everybody, it is Monday, the 10th of October, 4 p.m. Time for our Q&A. Louise, should we have our first question, my dear?
Yes. Penny is saying, can you remind me, Andrew, how you use the closed cell foam when using texture plates in a rolling mill?
Of course I can. We get... In fact, I shall use a little bit that I still got left down here. I'll go and get a texture plate and I will show you. There we go, that's that. So the idea is, the closed cell foam, I'm sure it is only 2 millimeters. Shall we have a look? If you can get 4 mil, brilliant. It's 2 millimeters thick. I buy it from Amazon. You can buy about 5 or 10 sheets. This is black, it can be any colour you want. The idea is you cut a piece, make it twice the length or twice the width that you actually need. Say I've got a bit of silver here. So then I would come along, and if I'm cutting this piece, okay, this piece here like that, then I would cut that then to twice the width of the piece that I've got. We then get a piece of paper. Let's get a piece of paper. Let's get this one. Get a piece of paper, A4 paper, it doesn't matter what paper it is. You get your, this thing, what's the thing? Texture plate, that's the one. Okay, then you get your silver on top, right, without the blue paper. Get your rolling mill, offer this up into the rolls. Put that in first, put the bit of silver on top, put that between the rolls, close down the rolls until they touch, until it just grabs onto it. Remember where the position is of the handle. Release it a quarter a turn. Take this out. Turn the handle down. Your quarter a turn back down to where it was. All right. Then you get your piece of foam. You'll fold that in half to make it 4 millimeters. Okay. In half. Silver. Ooh. Texture plate. Silver. Your foam goes on top. Then if you try and put that through the rolling mill as it is, the rolling mill sometimes stops against the silver or sometimes it stops against the foam and it all doesn't go through evenly. So that's why then I would get a piece of A4 paper, fold it in half, So now that'll go through the rolling mill, and you simply offer that into the mill, wind the mill, it goes through. So you don't have to worry about, oh, is it the right pressure? Is it the right distance on that? If it's too hard, it doesn't go through. If it's too soft, it goes through, makes a pattern, but you want to put it through deeper again and so forth. Okay, so this is where the foam comes in really handy. Then once that's gone through the mill, you open up your sandwich, you take your foam, it's all flattened, so you throw that away. Your silver then, obviously without the protective paper on, it is then lovely and patterned. Simple as that. I love the foam. Yes, it does mean that you do throw that little bit away, but you get the same impression every single time because it's just fold it in half and it's the right pressure. Anything less, anything more doesn't really work, but this foam really gives it the right amount of pressure. Because I always used to struggle. I always used to put the silver through, put the texture plate through, take it down, take it out. Is it a quarter? Oh, is it a quarter of a turn or an eighth of a turn? Is it the same? I got to alter the. Is it? If I got to alter it because the silver's a bit thicker, silver's a bit thinner. I don't have to worry about that. So you put the texture plate, your silver, double the thickness of this because this is 2 millimeters. Put that on top. Put it between two bits of paper or fold over a bit of paper. It goes through. You get your pattern right every single time. Yes, Louise. Let's have another question.
Can I show you before I forget?
Bearing in mind, I don't have a monitor.
You'll have to come and have a look over here then.
Okay.
I would like to show you. Don't do it yet because I don't want to disclose anybody's.
Well, I can actually show on. I can show on that computer if you want to. I can show.
Yeah, it is. Not yet.
No, I'm not going to do
Not
anything.
yet.
Not yet.
Okay. I'm going to show you Lynn's spinner rings. Thank you, Andrew, for the music. Okay.
It's my intermission music.
Very good.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. Okay.
Can I
I'm
show?
ready. I'm ready.
Okay, we're on.
Okay, so
Hey.
Lynn made these before the All the Glitters episode because a friend had bought one for her in June and gave it to her daughter, and then the friend decided that she wanted one for herself, so Lynn made them.
Nice.
She said, I'd forgotten how much fun they are, and she's enjoying the monthly workshops.
Excellent.
Aren't they fab?
Yeah.
I love the barky texture,
The top, middle one.
but the
middle
contrasting
spinner.
textures of that contrasts. I think that's the same texture as that, isn't it?
Good.
Yeah, I really love contrasting texture. Yeah.
Very
Gorgeous,
good.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely, lovely job, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn. Very good indeed.
Cool.
I do like it.
Aren't they fab?
Yeah, top one's nice.
Yeah,
Bottom
I
left.
like them all.
Bottom's really good. Very good.
You've got 10 fingers, haven't you? No, you've got 8.
You got.
No, you could put them on your thumbs.
You could put them on your thumbs.
Okay, and we're back.
Very good. We're back.
Aren't they fabulous?
They are really, really good. I do like them. So you can have so much fun with spinner rings.
Yeah, and I've got some more to show you before we move on.
Yeah.
I
I just got my multi-screen. I'm on my monitor.
Yep, good. I'm just see your finger there hovering over it.
Faster finger first.
Yeah, you were going to say that. So Ian also made a spinner ring, I should say.
Nice.
I don't know why I need to get it on here, don't I, to show you.
You do.
Which is also fabulous.
I love this.
I know, it's cool,
I
isn't
love the
it?
fact that people are making these pieces. Yeah, but can we use these? Are we allowed to use these in advertising?
With permission?
Yeah. We'd like that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
We'd use people's pieces they submit. Yeah.
And I love this because Ian made this for his granddaughter.
May I show?
Yes, please.
There we go.
So Ian made this for his granddaughter using
wow.
the doming punch method.
Yes.
And she says it's a great comfort when she gets a bit anxious.
Oh, that's lovely.
I know, how lovely.
What's the centre band? Can't see. Is it two strands?
It looks like
Is it textured?
it looks like textured. It's like a snake, like a crocodile-y, snaky. And I love anything animal texture. That's what it looks like to me anyway. I hope
print,
that's
yeah.
it looks so cool. And yeah,
Lovely.
that's fab.
I like that as well. Yeah.
And there is
fault it.
just, like you say, that meditative calming effect, isn't it, of the
just
yeah
spinning it or whatever you're doing with it.
yeah
Yeah. Very
yeah
good. I
lovely,
love it.
beautiful, lovely
Very
work.
good. I'm impressed.
Isn't it fabulous?
Very good indeed. So, yeah, if you want to know how to make spinner rings, we made 3 of them. They're actually still by here on my bench because I haven't been on my bench all week. Yeah, patterned, plain. Show you how to make a 2-strand twisted with the old-fashioned. And thank you for the orders. We still got a couple of the old-fashioned.
They've done well, haven't they?
Yeah, they do well. Yeah, we like them.
Who would know? The humble hand saw, the humble hand drill.
Hand drill. Love it. And you had a go as well, didn't you? It was really good. Twisting.
It was very satisfying.
Very
satisfying.
Yeah. I did like that.
Yeah, so thanks a million. Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Ian. Oh, Lynn's on. Hiya, Lynn. Fab. Yeah, brilliant.
Good, thank you very
Really
much,
lovely.
Lynn.
Love seeing your
Maybe use
pictures.
them in some advertising with obviously a credit to yourself, to your Instagram.
Yeah, we'll sort that out later. Okay. I haven't got my diary to write it down, so that's 2 things I've got to remember now, and I've forgotten the first thing already.
What was the first
Nagging.
thing?
Okay.
I'm surprised you forgot that, Louise.
That's it from me for now, but I have got another question, which is you're going to want to stick around for.
Okay, let's have another question.
From Sarah. Okay. Another question. Right.
Yes, please.
So this is, Tanya is saying, why would a graphite pencil stop the flow of solder, please?
It is purely acting as a barrier. The solder will not flow across the graphite. Simple as that. It works as a barrier. It could be, I don't know, it could be perhaps a Sharpie. Perhaps it wouldn't be a Sharpie because that ink would burn off. But you can use yellow ochre, you can use stop out fluid. Okay, then?
Yeah, I wondered why there's a pickle pot on my, but it's not, it's on yours.
It's there.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's just purely acting as a barrier. Solder doesn't like to flow over a dirty surface. Graphite, it's most probably carbon, and perhaps the solder doesn't like to move. But it doesn't have to be graphite, as I just said. It can be yellow ochre, it can be rouge, powdered rouge. We add a little bit of water on a cloth with a little bit of fairy liquid just to mix it up into a bit of a paste. The fairy liquid is to break down the water surface tension, just to allow the powder to mix. Anything like that, whiteout, Tip-X, there's lots of barriers you can use. It just stops the solder flowing. Just does. I don't know exactly how or why, it just doesn't want to flow. Simple as that.
Somebody, I think Billy said it's because it won't flow over a contaminated or dirty surface.
Exactly right, yeah.
Is that what you said? Sorry, yeah. Just doesn't wants to be clean.
It does, lovely to be clean.
Wants to be clean. Let's just say that. Okay, Helena has just been harvesting the hops and found 3 bunches of grapes. Oh, yay.
Oh, wow, nice.
That's fab. Mark's saying hello, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving from Canada. Oh, is it Thanksgiving?
Wow.
Oh,
already.
wow. We don't have it here. Well, we have harvest Thanksgiving, don't we? But I think unless you go to school or church,
yeah, it's more religious.
You kind of miss it, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you should be thankful.
Thankful every day.
Yeah.
Married to you.
Oh, you're just sucking up now, so don't nag you as much.
As much. I was hoping you wouldn't nag me at all.
Give you the night off, how's that? Okay, Gillian. Hiya, Gillian. I have the wee blowtorch. That's little, if you're not Scottish or British. Yeah.
Small.
Yeah, don't do the voice, please. I cannot solder a bangle that is 3 mil thick. What is the most powerful butane torch? There was a Durston one, but I can't see it on your website.
It is the micro torch is the small one. The next one up is just torch, the Durston. Not quite sure exactly what it's end up. Just go into torches, go up to the top, soldering down to torches, and they should be on there. Have I got any? I think I've got one left.
Shall I put it on here?
Just double check. I think there is one left, if I remember right.
Do you want me to go and check?
Yes.
Upstairs or on
there? Right. Is that okay? On there? Don't leave me, Louise. Don't leave me. I'm sure there's one left. And it's just, it is the last one.
Oh, I think I've just...
If it is the last one, I will get hold of Matthew and see if he can get some out to us. But you need this one. A 3mm bangle is going to be too small for this little torch. This little torch does pack a punch, a bit more so than the normal little micro torches, but a bangle, it's bigger. You have to get the heat going all the way around the bangle. This boy would do the job. Is it on there?
I'll check now. They all seem to go to the same temperature. Why is it not soldering?
It is the same. Okay, so if you think about it, does go to the same temperature, but that's where the flame is. All right, but what is happening, and I will draw it on the board, and this is why we don't do podcasts. We were discussing it today.
What's the difference between a podcast and a
a video,
video.
Podcast. So we've got
It's a contradiction.
We've got our ring, okay? And then we've also got our bangle. When it comes to heating up in this point by here, okay? So here's your flame, all right? There. What is going to happen is that as this area heats up, the heat travels around the bangle or the ring. The heat has only got this much distance to travel.
The butane torch is out of stock.
Right.
According to the website.
Put it on back order. Do you mind putting it on back order? And if you order it, because we've only got a week left on the discount.
Yeah.
And I will get some in from Durston for you. And we do need to get some. All right, so what is happening is that this area then heats, the small little ring will heat up nicely and quickly because the distance to travel is all this. In theory, then the bangle has all this distance to heat up, because if this is cold, this area is sapping the heat away from the joint, which is by here. So yes, it gets the same temperature, but you're trying to heat up a bigger area, a bigger mass, a bigger piece of metal. All right, so yeah, you can get your flame, you can bring your flame round here to heat up here, bring your flame round here to heat up here. The problem is, as soon as you take the flame away from here and bring it round to here, this is now starting to cool. You heat up this side, you bring it round this side to heat up, this starts to cool, this starts to warm up. So the bangle is constantly cooling down, heating up, cooling down, heating up. It's in a cycle of that. It does then not get hot enough for this area to get to the right temperature because the heat is always being taken away from it. So you need a bigger flame, because then a bigger flame is going to come along and it's going to be a much bigger flame, for argument's sake, like this. It's bigger, it's bushier, it's got more power, it's the same heat. But if you consider this big mass coming down to here, it's big, it'll heat it up. You have a small little torch, you're trying to do this with a little bit of a torch, and it's never ever going to work. A very long explanation, something that's quite simple.
Okay. Rebecca's asking for the link to the closed cell foam.
Amazon. Go on Amazon, just search for closed cell craft foam A4 and it'll be on there. Well, they're not expensive at all. It's 2mm thick. Search for 2mm thick, and it should be on there.
Okay. The discount code
is
was it available?
Can't say it on.
It's only for Gillian. I'll send you the discount. I'm going to have to write this down because I've got too much. I haven't got my diary. So nag Andrew.
Cross that one
about extra film.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Have I
Yes.
need to make sure?
So there is, if you are a paid member of At The Bench, if you have signed up for the workshop, if you've paid for the workshop, the spinner ring workshop, you can now access it. On the workshop page is the code that you need to go into our store to get your 15% off. There's also a code in there to get 15% off at Durston as well.
Yeah, Gillian, I'll email you the code
Yes.
later on. What else was I going to do? Forgotten.
Can you remind Louise of the second thing
What was the second thing I was going to write? It's been a very long day, isn't it?
I just have to watch this back. Yeah.
Yeah,
If we
okay.
if we can remember the second thing that Louise was supposed to remember, please can you pop it in the chat and she hopefully will remember.
There were three things and that was the fourth thing, so there
That
were two
was the third
things.
thing, isn't it?
There were two things. Anyway, they'll
Let's
come back
go.
to me, I hope.
Let's have
Claire,
another.
yeah. Claire is asking, hiya Claire, is saying, I have a funky design in mind. I've just remembered what it was. I have a
Write it
funky
down.
design. It was...
Done it?
Yes.
Good.
Sorry, Claire. Right, I have a funky design in mind that I like in silver, but I'd rather make it in a prototype, cheaper material to check it works. Would sheet aluminium be okay with silver solder? Does it tarnish?
No, you won't be able to use silver solder with aluminium. It's a different type of metal altogether. You're better off using some copper, because then you can use your silver solder with copper. I definitely know that silver solder will not work with aluminium at all. So don't try that. Copper, not a problem. You should be able to do it with that. And you can pick up sheets fairly easy. If you can, this is the thing, if you want specific sizes, small little sizes, well then the tool suppliers are going to be okay for it. If it was me and you had a good way to cut up sheet, you can go to the big boys. There's a place, I think, around the corner in... Pardon?
People.
Pardon?
Don't be sexist.
You can go to the companies that deal with bigger sheets of copper, and you can buy like a foot square, and that then is a far cheaper way of doing that. There's a company up in Birmingham, don't know what their name is, it's not far from Hockley, in the Hockley area, and they will supply you with whatever size copper that you want, which is very, very good if you can't cut it yourself. Should we have another question?
Good.
Please.
Yes. Okay. Oh, do you want my special question?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, don't.
No,
I'm not sharing my screen just
yet. I'm not going to do it just yet.
But
so this is a what?
Well, I haven't shown you this, but I received this email this morning from Sarah, who it's just an inconvenient time, a massively inconvenient time for her to watch the Q&A. But she sent me these questions because she can't join.
Okay.
Let me just get the... So, this is the...
My hands have not moved. My hands are on the desk.
Good, keep them there. Where are you, Sarah? There she is. Right, so Sarah has been asked to set a pair of pig tusks in a pendant, as a pendant using silver. The person who's commissioned it would like a plain finish with a good sized bay on. Attach some photos.
Can I show it?
Yeah, that I can show.
Yeah, can I show now?
So the first image is a Google image.
Okay.
Showing the kind of thing he has in mind. And the next two photos I'm going to show you are the actual photos of the tusks that need to be set. So if we can come off that for a moment, because I don't want to show my screen while there's information on there.
Hang on.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what I've done. Hang on. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Are we back?
No.
I should have got these ready.
Yeah,
sorry if I.
So was that like that? Was it? So was that?
So it's kind of like a C shape on its side.
So is it like that?
It's like a yeah.
Okay.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Are we back? Are we back?
Yeah. Well, so, yeah.
Okay, so that's that one. Very difficult to work with. Oh, that was aluminium. Yeah. Cool. So the next photo I'm going to show you are the actual tusk.
Okay.
Okay.
No, super so still.
Okay.
It's you and me.
Actually, you know, I can just open both of these and then I can toggle. One moment, sorry.
My father said. My father loves a duvet. Has only just recently bought a duvet. And he said to us, he said, tell me, he said, what toggle is your duvet? It's lovely and warm. What toggle is it? Dad is tog, but never mind.
Bless him.
Bless his cotton socks.
Okay,
Are we allowed to watch?
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah,
Excellent.
sorry for the delay. So they are approximately 12 to 15 centimetres long.
Look at that. Cool.
I know. And 1.5 to 2 centimetres diameter at the broken end.
Mm-hmm.
So Sarah imagined making a tube and treating it like a bezel, but was surprised to find the ends of the tusks are hollow. And I was surprised about that as well. I've never really considered, but you'd think they would be, I don't know, I would imagine like an antler, which is not a tusk, is it? I suppose.
Solid,
but they're full of
okay.
the ones that, I don't know what ones I've seen.
Okay.
The ends are hollow. They don't feel particularly fragile, but they are making me question my plan.
Okay.
Any ideas how I can bring one gentleman farmer's idea to life? So that is that.
Okay.
I want to know the story behind this. If he was a farmer, or is a farmer, was it his pig?
I don't know.
Was it a cherished pig?
Or a prize pig? A prize
maybe,
ball?
yeah. I think that would look really cool. I mean, it's not everyone's taste, is it? But if you're a pig farmer...
I wouldn't want to be on the other receiving end of those Sharpie bits either.
No.
No. Do you have another picture?
I do, but you're going to have to just
Hang on.
Jump off there for one moment for me to retrieve it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
There, so this... Any minute now. Where's the photo? Come on.
Goodness, sorry, thank goodness we're having stir fry tonight.
I know. What's the matter, Andrew?
Couldn't manage that.
Give us a smile.
Can I show now?
Yes.
Ah, hey. And what have we got?
This shows the hollow.
Oh, okay.
So Sarah said the ends are hollow.
Mm.
Are they hollow all the way through?
I think, okay, so what?
Anyway, yes, so
So I'm thinking. So yeah, you thought
What are you thinking?
you could do a tube. Yeah, I think a tube is going to be good. I think what I would do is get plenty of epoxy resin. That's going to be a real good something to... Anyway, let's have a think. Let's have a think for first of all. Okay, so I would make, first of all, a tube that would fit over this side and that side. So I would make then a tube that would cover over. If they come together a bit closer, that may be even better. Okay, so that's something like that there. All right, so, and then a tube then would go over, over the ends like that, perhaps. Yeah, so a tube would go over, so you've got a tube like that, and then the tusk would go in to that, and there's the edge of the tube, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then you would put perhaps a really thick ring on the top there to put another chain through and so forth. Yeah, so that's what I do. A tube would be, which is what you're going to need to tidy up the ends. Then what I would do is don't set it, don't do anything just yet. Make sure the end goes over the, because I would have thought these are going to be slightly different sizes. So make sure that your tube, perhaps you could make the tube and then perhaps adjust the thickness of the wall for each particular end of your tusk. Once they go in nice and snug, what I would do then is get a piece of, perhaps a piece of copper, a copper wire or a copper tube or a bit of silver. So then you've got the ends of the tusk that are going to do that. And then you've got the other end of the tusk then that goes around. So then what I would do is get epoxy resin, 5-minute epoxy resin, mix up a load of it, pack it into the hole there, pack it into this hole here. Okay, so there, here then is your bit of hollow that goes around on the inside, like that. All right, pack in your epoxy resin in here, pack in your epoxy resin in there, and put a bit of metal into this end, into this epoxy resin and into that epoxy resin. Put the ends together. You obviously put the tube over first, bring the ends together, and then the epoxy resin then should squeeze out and fill the inside of the tube. And I think that would be the best way to join those together, if that makes sense. Think so? What do you think, Lou? Does that make sense? So get your tube, one tusk fits in this side, one tusk fits in that side. Brilliant. Okay, so then take the tusks out, pack the ends epoxy resin, put a bit of metal in the one of them, put it into the tube, put the other tusk into the other side, get them just right, get them so the curvature is just right. Squish it together, the epoxy resin then will squeeze out and should fill the gap and should fill the inside of the tube. Keep it laying down, wait until it's set. Then if you have to, perhaps you could try and burnish this tube tighter perhaps, or if there are any gaps, get a little bit of epoxy resin on the end of a piercing saw blade, an old one, and just tack it and tap it into any of the gaps. And I think that is going to hold that really, really well. Without the little bar, there's a chance that they will come apart if you just simply have it tube set. But don't worry about trying to burnish it or making sure the bezel, the tubing is extra tight on the tusk, because I don't think you will ever get that. But I would rely upon the epoxy resin to squirt out, fill the inside, fill the gap between, and perhaps even this bit of metal that goes through, perhaps twist it or cut some little V's in it so that it's got a bit of a key, so the epoxy resin, the araldite, will grab onto it and it won't then pull apart. Don't have that pin smooth. Make sure the pin is textured. Perhaps you want to make the pin go like this, wavy like that, into both half, and then that will never ever then come apart. That's an interesting one, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Sarah uses TikTok.
Okay.
For a lot of her jewellery making.
Australian Sarah.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is Sarah. Yeah, this is Sarah's question.
Okay.
And she is
really
on.
Inconvenient. It's really inconvenient, isn't it? Because it's in Australia.
Why is that inconvenient?
To watch our Q&As.
Oh yes, I see what you mean. So she's if you're on TikTok, it's at sarahs.art.australia.
Okay.
And her TikTok is fabulous. So I don't really use TikTok, but if you want inspiration, yeah, give her a follow because she's fabulous.
Nice one.
Yeah,
excellent.
cool.
Good. Thank you for that.
Good. Okay. Yeah, it was a good one, wasn't it?
Should we have another question?
Yes. How far did we get?
The test. No, the tests. I can't remember.
Janet is saying, what am I doing wrong? I've broken the tips of several of the thinnest of my bush drill bits while looped. Can I use the remaining half? If so, how do I sharpen the tip?
Yeah, now when it comes to drills, I listen to the drill.
Sorry, Sarah, can we see the finished thing, please?
Definitely.
Yeah, please put it on your TikTok or send me a picture. I'd love to see.
Absolutely. When you're drilling, you've got to keep lubing all the time. Sometimes you can put a bit of spit on it, but listen to the drill. If you're drilling and initially the lubrication is great and then you hear it going like that, it's dry and there's a chance your drill bit is going to break. So always keep drill, take it out, bit of lubrication, put it back in, and as soon as it goes dry, it will break. So you've broken your drill bit. You've got to re-polish it. You're going to have to try and polish it. Now, for me, we use Serragloss wheels. Serragloss wheels. You can buy them in different grades. They are roughly around about £30 a wheel. We use these to sharpen our gravers. We use, I think it's a green that's a medium and a yellow for an extra fine. Serragloss wheels, £30 a wheel. But we are getting the equivalent Eve discs that are better than Serragloss because the Eve ones are backed with a bit of metal and they don't give when you push down. So we're waiting for those to come into stock, but we're waiting for those Eve wheels. What you must do, you've got to polish it. The art, I can't really even draw this for you, but what you've got to do, your drill bit is that sort of shape, isn't it? It comes down like this. You break it off and it ends up like that. So what you have to do, you have to then grind these angles onto the drill. And we use a Serragloss wheel. We would initially use a medium one because that will remove the amount of metal quicker. So you're going to have to grind that, so that now is nice and central across your drill. That's the nice and easy bit. Then it's very hard for me to try and explain this, but then you get your Serragloss wheel in your flex shaft like that. You get the drill bit. If you put the drill bit straight, it's going to get a flat bottom. You need to adjust it at a slight angle this way, so you get a bit of an angle here. Then you want to bring it forward, but at an angle, so it is basically cutting. How can I explain this now? So the bottom is not that shape, it is this shape. So it's cutting now in this direction. So this angle here, the front has to be here, but the back has to be up a little bit. So the back would be at a slight angle. Do you know what I mean? And then likewise on this one. So when it twists round, the leading edge has to be pointed like that, so it will cut. It takes a while to get used to the position. So let me see if I can try and work this out. So say this is my Serragloss wheel, it is spinning round, and say that this, for argument's sake, is the drill. You put it straight down, okay, you're going to get complete flat. So you're going to have to angle it this way, okay? And if I bring this round to this angle now, I'm in this direction. But what you want to do, you want to angle it, okay, in this direction. So it's like almost like a 45-degree angle, but you've actually got to twist it a little bit. I'm explaining it terribly, but I hope you understand. The leading edge has to be the cutting edge. So that's exactly how you do it. It's easier if I could find some drawings to show you, because I can't draw it very well. But you can then use your drill bit so it's right down to the very, very end. In fact, Lee commented on how short my drills were, because they snap and then we just regrind them. And then once you've done these angles and you want to put this little bit of an edge to it, that's when I would swap over to the yellow Ceratgloss to get a nice high finish on it. And if you experiment with it, and don't forget what you do on this side, you've got to do on that side. So this edge, you've got to put on this side, you've got to put on that side. And it'll work. Just experiment, practice, but it's all to do with angles all the time. Hard to explain, but you can do it. Should we have another question?
Yeah. Okay, Rebecca is asking, how do I solder 22 karat gold? With 18 karat, is 22 karat yellow gold a lot on the market? You do need to use 22 karat solder, yes. If you're in the UK, they won't allow you to use 18 karat because it is obviously of a lower finesse than 22 karat. And really, you shouldn't use anything less than 22 karat for soldering 22 karat, because it will fail the assay. It's as simple as that. Expensive, OMG, yes it is. If you can share a panel with somebody, or if you can just ask, can I have a little bit, can I have a quarter of a panel, something like that, that is going to be far better than buying a big panel. But you do usually have to allow a little bit more solder when it comes to 22 karat, because it doesn't seem to flow like 18 or 9 karat. It ends up a little bit sort of lumpy, even though you heat it up. And don't forget, there's only one melting point, 22 karat solder, due to the alloy they have to introduce. So that's only going to be 2 parts alloy to 22 parts gold. It's those 2 parts that adjust the melting temperature. So there's only one melting point, and that will melt just a fraction or a little bit before the main body melts as well. So again, you've got to be so careful and so confident when it comes to soldering. But you can buy it in all the bullion dealers, the tool suppliers and so forth. 22 karat solder, but try and get a friend to buy some with you. Far cheaper. Yes, Lou. Okay. Terador, what time was the spinner ring workshop? I couldn't find a time anyway. Oh, it was 2 o'clock.
2 p.m. British Summer Time.
Last Monday, yeah. But it is on at the bench now, minus the chit chat and the just the really useful bits. Yeah.
I think it ends up about 2.5 hours still. What we got on there, but yeah, it's always usually on a Monday. It's always
normally
2 p.m. But we do send out emails regularly, like a week before. It's always on social media as well, so always check out our social medias at underscore the underscore bench underscore UK. That's Instagram. Okay, so check that out. Follow us, and you'll then be notified. You can find out on socials. But also, if you're a a member of At The Bench, even if it's just a free view, we will have your email address. So then we will email you with the times, the dates. And if you're a paid member of At The Bench, you will also have your coupon codes then to get into the workshop completely free of charge. What an amazing thing, like almost 3 hours of live workshops every month, in addition to everything else that we've got on there as well. and we're trying to keep the site uploaded with new content, with projects and techniques and things like that. So I personally think for the membership, for the cost of At The Bench, it is the best jewellery training website around for what we offer, because what we offer isn't simply just setting, isn't simply a little bit of piercing. Well, yeah, we do a little bit of drawing, but that isn't very important at the moment to us. But the techniques, the projects, we cover everything. Spinner rings, we do casting, we do cuttlefish casting, lost wax casting, sand casting. We use doming punches, texture plates. We do textures by hand. We make rings, pendants, bangles, earrings. We show you the latest equipment. We give you the discount codes to get from Durston. We get the discount codes to come from the store. We get monthly giveaways. And Misty has not contacted us yet from Idaho.
We emailed Misty.
I have emailed Misty. This month's giveaway is a Fordham SR flex shaft. So we have that to give away this month. And every month we give away hundreds of pounds worth of tools and equipment to lucky giveaway winners of At The Bench. But you've got to be a paid member of At The Bench. And don't forget, if you want to subscribe, the next year's subscription is a lot cheaper than your first. I think it's £180 for a year, £99 for a renewal. So we don't charge you that £180 again for the second year, because why? We already know you, we know how loyal you are, so we reward our loyalty by reducing the renewal price, and it's only £99. Others will simply charge you $400 year in, year out, but we don't. Anyway, that's enough of my spiel. Let's have another question then.
You want another question?
Yeah.
Okay, I have one ready. Where's it gone? Sorry, I did have one ready. Okay, Gail has an issue with saw blades. They keep breaking even when I am not using them. I hang them up. I hear them snap while hanging up.
This is something due to either a little bit of a damaged blade, perhaps there may be a kink in it, so it's weak in that particular point. There may be a little bit of rust with them, which causes a little bit of a breakage. If you hang them up, you know, I've got a blade here. It is that sort of sound when you pluck it.
What's that?
La, la, la,
B
la,
flat?
la, 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 la. It's whatever that is. So that's the sort of sound. If you're going to leave your saw for a while, reduce the tension on it. Just remove the tension, because then when you come along, it's simply the next day you can just join it up like that, and now we've got a bit of a higher pitched.
It's not B flat. Don't use that as a guide, because it could be completely wrong.
But that could well be the reason. If you had to hang it up, it may be damaged, it may be broken, it may be under stress. But if you also have good quality blades, Golden Shark, Super Pike, why are they all named after fish?
Is it
I
the
don't know.
teeth? Sharp teeth?
Sharp teeth, can't be. So Super Pike, Valorb, Glarden, Gold Shark, anything like that, make sure it's a branded blade and you won't go far wrong with them. Yes, Louise.
And take the tension off. I suppose when you put anything under tension or stress for a time, it's going to...
Yeah, it's going
Like
to
me
want to
today.
give. I think you today. There's no wine either tonight, remember?
Well, there wasn't going to be any, was there?
Is that another question?
Let's have another question. Okay. Yeah, Stephen said he could be tensioning it too tautly. Yeah. Yeah, Anko was laughing that you felt the need to announce the fact you were wearing trousers. Thank you for that, Andrew. It's always good to know if it's, you're not sat there without your trousers on, because we wouldn't know, would we? Okay.
Should have had like an under the bench cam just to make sure Andrew's got his trousers on.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Lots of chat. This is good. Stephen's asking about poison rings.
Oh, yeah.
You've done a poison ring, haven't you?
Yeah,
Was there a
I've done.
film?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a poison ring on At The Bench, yes.
Yeah, Clay's asking about poison rings. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like a little small hinged box, isn't it? Which, shall I get it actually?
Do stay there. You carry on
It's,
talking. I shall go and get it.
Because I had one years ago, which my granny bought me in Malta, and I think it was a lapis lazuli cab, and I just thought it was really cool.
Let's have a look. So this is one that we made up, like that, and on the top, admittedly, this is quite a proud little box, as in not proud as in it stands quite proud, and then that would open up then, and then you have your poisoning inside and you just tip it into someone's glass.
No, don't do that. That's what they would
sorry.
traditionally.
Yeah.
You see it on the films, don't you? On like the medieval films,
that's
probably
what
earlier actually, probably a lot earlier.
Obviously, being dressed,
Well, yeah, you've got the costume on today,
James
haven't you?
Bond
Yeah.
for that, haven't I? So that's what we did. Very simple, just to show you the
What
concept.
did you have in it? Oh, it was the 90s, I can't possibly tell you. No, nothing. I was a real square, I was.
Yeah, so that's what it is. You can put like a stone on the top, make it a bit more decorative, or make it, you know what I mean. So that's a poison ring. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Or a little love note ring. Put a little bit of a love note in there, couldn't
that's
you?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a bit more saleable than poison. Well, you don't know actually.
That's right. It's by
It's
your
on the
foot.
floor now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want
by
to go
your
over it on my chair. Ah! I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, they are good. A bit Game of Thrones. Yeah. You can imagine. It'd be easy for you to poison me. You wouldn't need one of these.
Just give you the glass with the most wine in it, and that's it. You're gonna
because
go
I
for it.
always go, I'll have that one. It'd be easy to poison me.
Put the poison in the glass that has the most wine.
Just put the poison in the biggest one, and I'll go for that every single time. Okay. Let's have a look. Mike is saying, can I use dopping wax for lost wax casting? I switched to high temperature industrial hot glue instead for my lapidary work.
Yeah, I think because when you do your lost wax, the dopping wax is going to melt at a higher temperature, but for the temperature that the kiln gets to, we do ours to hold around about 150 degrees centigrade. That is the temperature that the wax is completely molten. And then it ramps up to about 700-800 degrees, and then it holds. Then that will completely obliterate any carbon or any residue that is left within the mould. Dopping wax is obviously going to melt at a slightly higher temperature, I would have thought. So perhaps you may have to find out what temperature the dopping wax melts at, take your kiln up to that temperature and hold it for an hour or so to allow all the wax to melt, or just take it a fraction higher to allow all the wax to melt out, then ramp up. Not much point if dopping wax melts at 200 degrees, you ramp it up to 150 to hold at 150 for 2 hours when it's nowhere near the melting point. So it has to be at least the melting point and a little bit more to allow the wax to pour out over at least an hour or 2 hours. But I'm sure there is no reason why you cannot do it. Absolutely. Let's have another question now.
Okay.
5 o'clock.
Is it? Goodness me. Well, we were a bit late starting, so we'll just go on a little bit, shall we?
Yes.
Penny's saying, might have missed the boat with this question, but how do you manage soldering a textured ring if the pattern doesn't match? Also, how do you finish it without ruining the pattern on the solder joints?
I wouldn't worry too much about the pattern on a spinner ring, because you're going to have the spinners going over that central piece. If you are concerned it doesn't quite match, or you need to file a little bit down, perhaps just file down the areas where the spinners are. So perhaps you have your spinner ring over this little area here. Perhaps if your texture doesn't quite match here and here in this one particular point, just after you've flared it, just go over it, perhaps with a bit of a file, with a bit of a ceramic silicon carbide wheel, just to blend it in a little bit. I wouldn't worry too much, to be honest, because it's not really going to be very noticeable, because only a very short little area like that. What you don't want to do, and what I stressed out when we did the workshop, you don't want to take any solder off, because otherwise you're going to thin the metal out, whether it be on the top or on the inside. If you thin it out, when you come to flare it, it's going to split or stretch more in those thin areas. So always leave the solder on. Don't try and thin out the ring until it's all been put together and it's been flared. Then just, I mean, you've got a pattern, okay? You've got a pattern here, and there's a pattern that comes along like this, and there's a pattern that comes along like this, okay? And it doesn't quite match, all right? But all you got to do is just gently just remove that little bit there so it blends in. Remove that little area there so it blends in. That's all you got to try and do. The spinner then would come over that, So don't worry too much about it, because no one's really going to see it. Do we have another question?
Yeah, we're having a lot of alternative uses for poison rings now, but I'll tell you later. Right, okay. How far did we get? Janet's saying, how long do the micro torches last for? Mine stopped auto lighting for a while, but now it's lost its fierce flame, a bit bushier than it used to be.
I think you can, the ends do become slightly clogged and perhaps a little bit sooty. So what you could do is perhaps put the ends in the ultrasonic and then dry them out completely before you attempt to relight it. Just to try and get any soot out that may be caught up inside. Yes, I totally agree with you. There obviously is a life on these piezoelectrics. I've got one around here that I have thrown away now, that the piezoelectric actually wore out. And to be honest, I had to light this one to light the other one, and that seemed to be a bit of a waste. So it does have a life. I'm sure some people say you can buy replacements, but to be honest, for the safety of the torches, it's easier just to throw it away, making sure it's empty first of all, and then buy a new one. That's my answer. Thank you.
Good.
Next question.
Yes. Oh, Stephen said podcasts usually don't respond to chat and usually have a featured guest.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Cool. Helen is saying, is a Durston cyclone torch a hotter one?
I think the temperatures are pretty much the same. I will be able to tell you that because I have one here. I don't understand, sorry guys, I don't understand why there is a cyclone torch. I don't really understand the reasoning behind it. For me, there is no difference. The cyclone torch, 1300. The normal torch, 1300. The same sort of weight when it comes to the tank. Shall I light it? Is it lit? Is there stuff in it? Let's have a look. Woo. So this is the cyclone torch. Let's compare it with the other one. Cyclone torch. The nozzle is thinner. The nozzle is longer. This is the standard Durston. Nozzle's a bit thicker, and so forth. Let's have a look. Is there gas in this one? There is. Whoa, okay. I don't know. Should we get the overhead camera? Is the overhead camera going to work on this? Yes. Okay, let's do this. And let's zoom out, shall we, on this? Let's have a look. So this is the board. Here's the torches. Don't cross the... What's it called?
Don't cross the stream.
Yes. So let's just bring them down side by side, okay? Onto the block and see what happens. Okay, so those are the same distance. And from what I can see, the normal torch is heating up far better. Let's turn that on full. Turn that on full. Ready? The tips of the torches are level. Let's bring them down. Bring them into position. And let's see what happens. So I can see the one on the left is far, far hotter, quicker than this one. So don't go for the cyclone, just go for the normal. I don't understand the reasoning behind the cyclone. Someone said it was a cyclone because the flame spins round or it goes around an object. No, it doesn't.
Oh, that's what Nancy said, the cyclone flame will wrap around something.
Yeah, we thought that, but we've tried that. Lee and I tried that and it doesn't.
How did you know?
Because we put something in front of it and heated this side, and
right,
the flame did not go around.
Oh.
Because everyone was thinking, it's a cyclone, ooh, it's going to go around, it's going to swirl around. So you put the flame by here, and you put something in front of here, and the flame's going to go all around like that.
No, but does it not apply the heat in a ring around something? So suppose you've got, do you know what I mean?
Explain?
Does it apply the heat like that and not in the middle? So like a ring of fire.
The ring.
Do you know what I mean? For want of a better word. And then, do you know what I mean? So it's cooler in the middle. So you've got heat concentrated in a ring. I don't know. I'm just surmising. I'm just thinking on the spot. Heat concentrated in a ring, and then cooler in the middle.
What you mean.
Is that what it is? Because it's not necessarily going to go. But that's what it looks like to me, because I can see blue.
Spinning around it. Well, if it is spinning round, it's not really heating up my block, is it?
If you held it...
Because the idea is that block should get warm.
If you hold it perpendicular to the board...
Like that?
And down...
Nah. What I can see is there's 3 holes. There's 3 holes in the nozzle of the cyclone. Can we have a look at that? There we go.
Dean uses cyclone torch in refrigeration work. The turbo has a larger area and is less likely to melt the metal.
Okay, so...
But then it doesn't heat it as fast or as quickly, or is it the same thing? As quickly.
We got there's three outlets in that, whereas on this torch there's only one.
This is driving me potty today.
So perhaps there's 3 as opposed to 1. So perhaps there's 1, 2, 3 on the outside. I don't know. It's longer, it's thinner. I don't really understand. I've even asked Matthew Durston about what's the relevant difference, and he didn't know either. So I don't know. Personally, don't worry about the cyclone. Just buy the normal. It's much, much better.
I'm sorry about all of the naughty robots today. If you do get a chance to report them, please do, because they've been driving me around the twist today, and we want to keep at the bench
clean,
nice and clean. Yeah.
We are a professional outfit. We don't swear, do we?
No.
We're a professional outfit. We don't.
So yeah, I've just had to, because you can time out, can't you?
Yes.
And you can hide, and I've done that, and it keeps coming back.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys can see what I'm seeing, or whether it's just because I'm moderator. Because Julie reported them. Thank you.
Because what we obviously do, they're robots. Because you say to me, why are these comments left on films? And it's because the robots just go out and just. And I spend the next half an hour after one of these lives just going through and removing them.
I don't get an option to block. I can remove, but it only removes it for me. And when I go on my login here, it's not removed. So you have to physically remove. It only removes it for. But we'll have a look at it later.
Okay.
You can see them. Yeah, I've been reporting as well for both, and I've been deleting. But I can only time out. I can't block.
That's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's got to be a way to block. Look, I've got report, remove, time out, and hide.
And
but then if I've hidden it, surely that should mean.
You can report it?
Yeah, reported it about 10 times in the time, which is, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, please report. Apologies for that. I am on it, and we'll keep on reporting it and taking steps. But yeah,
thank you.
It's just the nature of YouTube, I suppose, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's have another question then.
Okay. How far did we get? Dominic is saying, is Argentium silver significantly or rather visibly better than sterling? We can't help you with Argentium, I'm afraid. It's not an area of Andrew's
expertise.
Speciality. Kevin's saying it's bots that come into our auction streams a lot. It's more than one account to block the first one. Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it? I mean, it's reassuring to know that they target
other people.
I don't know, it's inconvenient for everybody then. That's no better, is it? But yeah.
Don't like favour our content over anybody else's.
No, our content is the best, obviously, so I won't blame them if they did. But there's nothing for you here. Move on.
Nothing to see here.
Dog on, you dirty robots. We don't want you here. Right. We shouldn't actually be giving them attention, should we? Do they know? No, they don't know, do they? Okay. How far did we get? Andrew Berry, could you do a simple best practice tutorial on Setter's Thermolock?
Yeah. Write that down, Louise. A to-do list.
Something else to add to the diary.
Using Thermolock. You can use Thermolock. I love Thermolock. You can use it for all sorts of things. You can use it. I know we lost the nuts to one of the old light boxes that we had. So I got a bolt from next door, bit of Thermolock, put it over the end, made a couple of wings on it. Hey presto, new bolt.
Good.
Amongst other things as well. Yes.
Boar task. Oh yeah, the boar pork talk. Tusk is a tooth. Horn is bone. Horn is keratin. God, we wonder why we get these rude bots. It's probably all the innuendos on this channel, isn't it?
Talking of horn.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a few more questions, shall we?
Yeah, cool.
Oh, I just saw a question. Oh my goodness, this chat is jumping everywhere today. Trying to keep an eye on the end of that. Oh, Miriam would like a tutorial on Thermolock as well.
Okay. Put it on
Okay,
YouTube.
Kevin is saying, wanted to give a thumbs up and say thank you for the videos. Made my first string and earring set using just your videos to learn.
Excellent.
Oh, fabulous.
Super. Thank you so much.
And Tanya, loved the swivel ring demo. I learnt loads. Thank you. At the bench is amazing. Oh, thank you, lovely.
Okay.
That's fab. Any more questions? Bill Hawkes is saying the irony of poison rings is that they rarely contained poison. Most often they contained smelling oils.
Okay.
Is that smelling oils
To wake people up
to
after
wake
they
people
fainted?
up, or smelling oils to stop people being smelly? Like, you know, like a perfume I meant. But they did in Victorian times, didn't they? They wore pomanders and things like that because people don't have a chance to wash as much.
And that's why the bride has a posy, isn't it?
Is it really?
Because they smelt. And
Okay.
the posy was there to make the bride
Smell sweet.
smell a bit more attractive.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
That's the reason why they had posies.
Very good.
Wow, that's
Stuff we're learning today. Goodness me. Tom is saying, could you make the ring slightly smaller in circumference? This is going back to joining a pattern.
Yes.
Slightly smaller in circumference where the pattern matches at the join, then stretch the ring to size?
You could, yes. But again, don't forget any stretching that you're doing, you don't know what part of the ring is being stretched, and then when you come to flare it, there is a chance that it may split. But yes, you could do it that way. No problem at all. Yes. And whilst Louise is looking for another question.
I've got another question ready.
We'll crack on then, love.
Thank you, love. Any suggestions? Marilyn is saying, any suggestions when casting a ring using a flat strip and then forming into a ring? I am having difficulty getting a nice solder joint.
On the strip?
Casting a flat strip, a ring using a flat strip.
Have a problem with the joint. In theory, there should be no difference to the metal itself. I don't think there would. I don't think casting it in a strip. Is that you or was that me?
That was me.
I don't think that casting it into a strip and bending it round would cause any problems. I think it's all to do with perhaps your joint, the cleanliness of the joint. Perhaps when you cast, the ends aren't nice and square. Perhaps they may be slightly rounded, and you really do have to cut back to nice square, fresh metal so you get a nice sharp edge, nice sharp bottom, nice crisp face. So when the other part by here then comes around to join this edge, they are perfect. They are level, they are smooth, they're not wibbly wobbly, they're nice and straight. See, we use the best terminology in this. Anyway, yeah, so it's not wibbly wobbly, it's nice and straight, And I don't think you should have a problem at all. But if you are having a problem, send us some pictures of your setup. Send us the pictures of the joint before you've attempted to solder, and let us have a look, and we shall certainly help you. And if you want to know, the email address is louise@andrewandlouise.co.uk, and we will certainly take a look for you.
Good.
Last question, I think, Louise, 'cause it's gone 5:15.
Has it really?
I want to get on to my sausage and mash.
Kevin saying, if you put your chat to subscribers only, bots won't be able to pop in as easy. That's something we were talking about the other day.
We've already been
I'm
talking
going to write
about
that
this.
down.
We have already been talking about this.
Is that the chat? Can you set the chat to subscribers only, and then
Don't think you
make it open to everybody else, or does it all have to be? We will look into that. Thank you very much.
Yes. How many people are watching now?
Kevin, sorry.
How many people are watching now?
101, 106, 108.
Okay, cool.
108.
Okay, so we got, okay, so yeah, we have been mulling it over, haven't we? Again, one of the things that we usually have a chat over, won't we have a glass of wine or a glass of Prosecco or a nice gin and tonic? Or we have to finish up that sherry that my father started.
Oh, it's horrible.
I love a bit of sherry. I'll
You
finish
can
it.
have that then.
So don't forget, if you are watching this, which obviously you are, and it is before the 17th of October, and you have the spinner ring workshop, or if you're a paid member of At The Bench, pop along onto the workshop page where the spinner ring videos are, and on that page there is a coupon code. 2 coupon codes, one for 15% off the store, one for 15% off Durston products, including their little flare that you got here. It's also in the email that went out today to all paid members and paid members of the workshop. So don't forget, you've got until the 17th of October to get 15% off the store. As I said, 15% off Durston products as well. Sorry, Louise, last question then.
Okay, I'll find you a question now. Bill is saying they were the smelling oils we used to revitalise ones, so things like camphors we used.
Okay.
So yeah, smelling salts. Good. Jay is saying, how would you make a herringbone chain without a machine?
I wouldn't.
Okay, here we are. That's short and sweet. Let's have another one for that. Okay, Dylan has been recasting two different, I don't think this is a question, two different signet blanks recently, still using a bad torch for it, too much porosity.
Yes.
I think we've got to all the questions.
And sometimes the porosity isn't, you think it's porosity, but it's maybe little bits of sand that have fallen down from the sprue hole into the mould itself. So when you pour the silver forms around the little bit of grain of sand, or a few grains of sand. When you take it out, the grains of sand disappear because they fall out, and then you see little holes. And sometimes you think that is porosity, but 9 times out of 10 it's not. It is little grains of sand that's fallen in. Yes. That it?
Good. I think so.
Should we go? No, one more.
Oh, yeah, Dances with Arvots. What font is your At The Bench logo?
Americ Sans.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Font.
It is an Americ Sans. It's not a well-known one. It is called Americ, A-M-E-R-I-K, or is it C? Sans. Americ Sans. That could be a C.
What does sans mean?
Don't know, but sans serif, don't know. It means something.
Is it Latin?
Don't know.
Or French?
Hey Siri, what does sans mean?
As a noun, san means.
No, that's sand.
Oh,
Silly.
come on.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Siri, open your ears.
Have you budded this morning, Siri? All right, should we go?
Okay.
No, great. So thank you all very much. Americ Sans, it is. It's available on Dafont, DAFONT.com. You can search for it on there. It's a free downloadable font if your word processor.
It's Latin, yay.
Which
I was
means,
right, thank you, Claire. Sans means without, yeah.
so without the scrolly bits. Yeah,
Oh, it's French for without.
it's without. So, yes, so you have these, don't you? They're sans
Oh,
serif.
not again.
And ours just come down like that. So it's without these bits, I presume. Okay, wow, we have learned all about tusks today. We have learned all about poison rings today. What a very informative Q&A we've had today, Louise.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, you're just dealing with your bots.
I think someone's just, honestly, some of the things that have happened to me today.
I know.
I expected Jeremy Beadle to jump out laughing at me. Oh, it's like, seriously. Where's the hidden camera?
There's the hidden camera.
There's been a couple of moments like that today.
It has.
There we are. Okay.
Should we go?
Yes.
Anything we need to say? No, the coupon codes, don't forget, I'm not going to mention I'm not going to mention the coupon codes. They were in the email sent out to you, not on the workshop page. 15% off at the Bench's store and also Durston.com. And also, if you want a bit more money off some Durston products, you can use the same code, that code in Durston, not just for the flare, but for other products as well. But don't tell Matthew. Right then, should we go?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Kevin. I'm going to definitely look into that later on, because that's, yeah, it's been a right pain in this evening, isn't it? So yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Claire. I think I will, seeing as you've suggested it. Thank you, darling.
What's that? Open a bottle. It has been a really stressful day today.
William didn't get that email. I'm so sorry. If you email me, louise@andrewberry.co.uk, I'll make sure you get the discount code.
Yes, because obviously some people then say we do not want any emails, and so they won't get emails.
I know somebody didn't get an email when they weren't opted out, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Sometimes it goes into spam.
A lot of times it goes into junk and spam. Yeah.
But yeah, there's no rhyme or reason for it, I don't think. Well, there probably is, I just don't understand it.
Some people say add it, and it's no reply at thebench.com. So sometimes you have to add that to your address book for your computer to know, oh, it's a safe email address. So the email address that our emails come from is no reply at the bench. Yep. So no reply at thebench.com. That's where it comes from. Add that to your address book, and in theory, it will not get filtered and put into your junk.
But anything like that, just give me a shout. That's what I'm here for.
Yes, absolutely.
If you think you've missed something, or
yeah,
or waiting for an email or a code or whatever, and I know you shouldn't have to, but we can look into why perhaps they're not coming through to you as well.
Absolutely, certainly can do. Should we go?
I think so.
Excellent. I'm gonna have a bit of a drink before we go. Excuse me a second.
You could do that when we stop rolling, couldn't you?
I needed that. All right, let's go. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. We're going to try and get up the interview with David Lilly a little bit later on this week. It was a long interview. We may break it down into a couple of sections, perhaps, and also the bit of the lapidary workshop that we had with him as well, with the stone cutting machine. That I was really impressed with that.
I want to be a lapidist now.
You want?
I do.
I want to be a lapidist. I want to be a gemologist. I want to be a valuer. I want to be it all.
I want to do it all.
But yeah, I do.
It was just so much fun. It was so exciting, wasn't it? It was so exciting.
So we must contact somebody that we know to do, and that would be a nice weekend away as well, won't it?
Yes, I'd forgotten about that.
Should we try and do that before Christmas?
I'm going to write that down.
Write it down. Should we try and do that before Christmas? Because that would be a good little...
If it's running.
If it's possible, yeah.
We need, obviously,
all right.
permission and things, but yes.
Lots of things planned. Keep an eye out for David Lilly later on this week. Louise, do we need to say anything else?
No, I don't think so.
That should be about it. Loads of things in our heads, aren't there, at the moment?
Perhaps we should get over to America and see Susan and Dylan, and they can teach me stone cutting.
Where in America?
Look at you, you're like, shut up, Louise, time to go.
I was thinking of America next year. I was going to contact Matthew to see if he wants any hand with any shows next year. And that means we can get over to America. Right, everyone, we are going to go. Louise, do you say anything else? Nope.
No.
Excellent. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Sorry if we've gone on a little bit longer than usual, but we did start late. I do apologise for that. Sorry for my blindness. I don't have a monitor. We're going to have to get one from the house for next week.
There is a spare one. I nearly threw it out the other day.
And that's the reason why I keep spare monitors, because people keep knocking them over.
With their fat backsides.
Yeah, fat backsides.
Well, that's what happened.
I don't know why I did that. Lovely
back. Thank you, Andrew.
Back.
That's enough.
Let's go. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. Look out for the David Lilly interview later on this week. It's going to be on YouTube, isn't it?
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, don't forget, use the discount code. Bill, we're going to get an email out to you with the discount codes on it. We're going to double check to make sure that your email address was on the list. If it was on the list, it has been sent, but we'll double check and make sure it gets sent again. But everybody, enjoy the rest of your week. And it is goodbye from Louise.
Goodbye.
And it's good for me. Goodbye for me. Good for me. No, I've had enough. I'm going now.
Come on then.